Okay, now I did sew the wool. You see all the borders have been stitched. It's end stitch, of course. I did add those loops, those belt order. I don't know exactly how to name this in English, but it's basically where the belt will come through and it will help to hold the trousers. It's not an historical part at all. It's simply something that I did add in order to be sure to have something that stay tight, close to my waist, in order to lose as less it as possible. And well, okay, this part, see, and stitch also. And I did prepare not only the outside layer, but also I did prepare the inside the silk part. See, it haven't been stitched yet, simply because I'll stitch it directly on the main part, which is the wool. I'll stitch this because first, you see, I pin everything will be pinned, and then I'll stitch everything on the trousers. See there, I did cut it a bit in order to let it move a bit more, and that way, and there won't be too much tension and unmanageable ones. So the next step is just to sew everything on the wool, and then I'll just have to start to prepare everything for the buttons. So I'm pretty close to the end. Night watch update on the trousers. It's completely assembled. You see, there is the silk, which have been unstitched to the wool, and everything is completely finished. Doing this, you will notice something. There is the stitching on this side that won't be seen on the outside. The outside I have only the stitch I did before on the wool itself to roll the border. And when I did this, the stitching, I did it by section. I divided the whole piece for different reasons. Once I had to sew the silk as a lining again, and problem is silk could break your thread pretty easily. And second is the needle itself also can break your thread, and over time you reduce the length and you can get stuck. This is why I'll advise you to sew by section. For example, you can sew from here to there, or from here to this part. You choose a corner or the end of a piece in order to hide your knots. That's far easier and far better. You don't stop it right in the middle of a section like this. It's really crappy, and you won't be able to hide it correctly. It's much easier to do it at the end of the section, at the end of a piece, or in a corner. Well, what I did was up, turn, and from here I did started there, and I finished there. And as I'm right-handed, for the sewing I mostly use my right hand. I did there, sew from this corner to the end here. And for the waist, this was not tricky, but what I did is that I simply started there up poof to the point. There was this loop here, see, and I stopped here, and I did from the beginning of the loop here through all the belt. I did start here and finished on this corner. That leave this part here without stitching. Then I did stitch it completely because I can easily hide the knot into the loop. So I did start with the knot there, completely hidden, and I did stitch everything and put it aside and did another knot here. That way I did end up this thing pretty nicely. So I have everything there. The next step after would be to add the holes for the buttons. Those holes would be, I guess, on the right here. I'll see. But there will be holes there. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. That way I will have something which will hang correctly and will be simply holding correctly. Well, I think it's good for this time. So next debate will be probably about the holes. A little detail when you do the medieval ooze is the diagonal. This point is something that many people always ask me among my friends, like, what do you mean by diagonal? You don't put it like straight, why don't you align all your pieces? Because the diagonal is what I give you the kind of stretchy property, stretchy advantage you will have in your wool. And it's basically something that kinda every single fabric have a bit of stretchiness, but the wool this amount of stretchiness on the diagonal that is pretty interesting, in order to have something that is kinda tight and will allow you to move. So just imagine that your fabric is there, rectangular shape. You just have to measure how wide it is. Let's admit that we have 1.5 meters, 1.5 meters there. So you would just have to measure 1.5 there, or 1.5 there, whatever. But measure the equivalent. Then you have to create a diagonal like this. This diagonal is what you have to follow with the middle of your patterns. Those midlines have to be in perfect parallelism with this diagonal that could be measurement tape, for example. And this way you will be right in your diagonal. This is how I use the fabric. You see, there is the two parts here, and there is basically the right legs here, the left leg here. This is how I think so far you have to proceed in order to waste as less fabric as possible. First the right one here, and then the left one. You will have space there, and of course a lot here, but don't think about using it yet. So put them that way, and those space, those corners here and here and here will be enough to put there your pieces for the groin, for the feet, and you will have even some fabric left. This is how I proceed in order to use as less fabric as possible. Well, I hope this little drawing will help you to understand how to do it. I know it's very ugly, but point is, get the dynamic, get the whole idea. Well, after that I'll get back on the hose and I will finish them. I hope it have been helpful to you.